Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. Today we talk the benefits of a high-fat Mediterranean diet, why you should drink coffee before your workout, and why women should not be afraid to work out. All this and more on today's Fit Club.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Fit Club.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4
and get them sit-ups right and tuck your tummy tight. All right, you guys, welcome to the Fit Club. I had to play Kanye's workout plan because that was my jam while working out many years ago. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Fallon, your host. You guys can find me online at fitwithfallon.com or at fitwithfallon on Twitter and Instagram. And I am here with my lovely co-host, Mr. Shaka Strong.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaka Strong.
All right, we got a great show for you guys. We have lots of topics. A lot of them have to do with nutrition, and I feel like nutrition is so important. I feel like it doesn't get enough cred when it comes to seeing gains or losing weight in the gym.
Yeah, we know it's really like an 80-20 principle or 90-10 even, that your diet really has the most to do with your fitness. But it's cooler just to see people going crazy in the gym and and that's something you can do in the moment rather than your diet, which is a process and takes time. So
yeah.
I think there's such an emphasis on the gym and the workout, we forget about the diet.
Yeah, I always tell clients too, I can give you a good workout, but once you leave me, I cannot control what goes into your mouth. I can tell you, but if you really want to see results, you have to be dedicated to a clean nutrition plan.
Yeah, and the thing is, if I know you're my friend, I can tell what you've been doing. Because if we go for a workout and then I see you and what you look like and you tell me how much you've worked out, I know it's coming from the food. I can tell right away.
Exactly. I know that's my problem. So I'm here with Shaka to do better myself. All right. We're going to talk about the high-fat Mediterranean diet. Not low-fat one, and actually studies have shown that you can lose weight doing a high-fat diet. Now, a typical Mediterranean diet consists of a lot of, veggies, fruits, fish, vegetables, and nuts especially.
Yeah, legumes, And even for the hardcore meat eaters, you can still have the poultry and the lean meat, but red meat's off the table.
Yeah. So what I guess scientists did was they took about 7,447 people. That's a lot of people to study. And what they did is they put them in different groups, and they all had them do a certain kind of Mediterranean diet. They switched it up. I guess some of them had nuts, and some of them had olive oil, and some of them had both.
So what was interesting, there was one group that was a low-fat group. So they didn't have a Mediterranean diet. They were just kind of told to avoid fat. And the other two groups, one had nuts and oil, and I hadn't seen that done before, where there was a Mediterranean diet that emphasized the nuts and the Mediterranean diet that emphasized the olive oil, and it looks like the olive oil group lost the most weight over a 5-year period.
Yep. So what they did is they didn't tell them to exercise, which I liked that, because now we know, it's not because they were exercising that it affected their weight loss.
It randomized the study and kind of took it out to some degree.
So what they found, like you said, was the group that had the olive oil actually lost more weight. And I think, and it even said in the study, I think what it did was it actually helped you stay fuller longer, because healthy fats, that's what they do, similar to protein.
Exactly.
And I feel like, that's one reason why I incorporated eating olive oil with all the food that I cook, or even, my salads, I'll put olive oil on. And then I also love to snack on nuts, of course, no salt, try to watch out for the sodium. But I find it interesting, too, that a lot of people will tell you don't eat too many nuts, especially cashews. They're so high in fat.
And it's actually good for erasing that belly fat.
Yeah, exactly.
And the interesting thing about this study was 90% of the people were either overweight or obese. So, and one of the big things when you are overweight or obese, of course, is not gaining that weight over time. So for them to actually be losing weight over time was a really positive step in the right direction for their health.
Yeah, so it actually works. So you guys out there, if you haven't tried the Mediterranean diet, and it's so funny because I've been doing this Mediterranean salad where it's just like cucumbers, garbanzo beans, tomatoes, cilantro. What else do I put in it? I put olive oil, vinegar, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then lemon. I squeeze lemon on it. No lettuce, no kale, and it is. I can have like 3 bowls of it. It is so good, and it's really filling. And I know it's healthy for me. You know, it's no cheese, no no, tons of dressing. It's all homemade,
And with
everything, and cut up.
And with what's available to you on this diet, you can be completely creative. There's no reason to not eat a fun meal with this diet,
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people think, oh, I have to eat healthy. It's so boring. But what I've noticed about my own palate and even my clients, once I get them off the cheese and the sugar, and they're like, wow, I feel like my senses have woken up.
Yeah.
They feel like, my senses now are alive. I can taste different things. And it's also funny now when I have, like Domino's pizza, not to throw shade to Domino's. I used to love Domino's pizza like religiously, but now when I eat it, to me the cheese tastes rubbery.
Yeah, and it's also that connection and then the emotional connections that we have with our different foods. So if you decide to go on a stronger diet over the next 5-10 years, you're going to remember that time that you had a bad breakup and then you had that delicious thing that was healthy rather than that chocolate cake that you used to have the emotional connection with. So you start to create new emotional connections the longer you're on a healthier diet.
Yeah, and we'll actually talk more about that later on the show, so you guys have to stick around. You can't, tune out now, but we're going to talk about, ways to stop cravings, and one of them is an emotional connection and how to
break it.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we'll be chatting about that I think will help you, help me, will help all of us, because that's something that's
huge.
It's something that we do in our society. Now, there are 6 healthy foods that nutrition pros refuse to eat. Now, when I say healthy, I'm going to say it in quotations, healthy. So I'm going to run down of those 6 different foods. So the first food is flavored yogurt. And, a lot of people think, oh, I'm eating yogurt, it's healthy, but what studies have shown, and even just the nutrition labels alone, what they showcase is that sugar in flavored yogurt, it's out of this world. It has just as much sugar in a flavored yogurt as a candy bar.
Yeah. So much sugar, yeah.
You might as well. And I've noticed this too, because I personally do Greek yogurt. And when I go to my boyfriend's house, he loves strawberry and banana yogurt. And when I eat it, I'm just like, whoa, this just tastes
super sweet, right?
And I actually prefer putting real fruits in my yogurt, because I want to taste the real fruit. It's a different type of sugar, because it's the natural sugar. It's not high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that.
Yeah, growing up, I used to love flavored yogurt because it was so sweet, and I had a major sweet tooth, but it was like almost candy to me.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's what it definitely is. And people put granola on it, granola in it, so it's like, and it really is a candy bar. It's candy.
Yeah, it's candy bar masked as being healthy, and that's probably the real trouble, is that we don't realize how unhealthy it is.
Another food that's kind of masked as being healthy is these veggie chips that have been popping up everywhere. All over. And when I first saw them too, I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna eat this. But when, again, you peel back and you look at the nutrition labels, what you see is that, there is so much sugar even in the veggie chips. And you're thinking, oh, it's only 120 calories. That's not that bad for 20 veggie chips. But it's only 30 calories off from eating a bag of potato chips.
Yeah, and that's...
So it's like, really, if you're going to go hard, go for the potato chips. You know what I mean? It's not worth eating veggie chips that's not that great.
Yeah, and we do it so often where we put these little buzzwords, veggie, chips, so okay, it'll sell, and then we as consumers, we fall for it.
Yeah, we really do. Have you tried kale chips where you make them yourself? And this is something that I recommend doing.
I haven't made them myself, but I had kale chips, and those I can attest are healthy because you can taste the healthiness of them.
So you haven't had good kale chips then. So I will have to make you some. I've even noticed the ones, I think, at Trader Joe's. I had them, and there was a weird taste in it, which maybe that's the taste,
preservative or something,
or maybe that's the taste that you're referring to. It doesn't taste right, but I will make you some. All you do is you take your kale, rip it up, put it in the oven, put a little bit of olive oil, if you want a little bit of salt and pepper, or you can even make cashew cheese out of cashew nuts. And that, let me tell you, my friends, that is it. You are going to be in heaven. You're going to be like, what? Veggie chips? What? Huh?
We got to do our little potluck.
Yes, we do. We got to like cook a bunch of healthy food. And you can also cut up like cucumbers, make cucumber chips. I just feel like if you're going to go that route, instead of buying it, you want to just do it yourself. You're going to save the calories, even save some money, and the taste is going to be better for you and your body. So.
Yep.
Veggie chips, throw them out the window, make them yourself. Powdered peanut butter was another one that, a lot of dietitians and nutritionists said that they wouldn't eat. I personally don't know too much about powdered peanut butter. Do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it kind of swept the fitness industry because here was this, everyone loves peanut butter, right? And here was this healthier alternative to peanut butter. Mm-hmm. But as you know, the powdered peanut butter, you lose a lot of the healthy fats, which kind of gets rid of some of that full feeling that kind of helps us throughout the day to not have bad cravings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would just like my peanut butter in regular form. I haven't tasted powdered peanut butter, but it doesn't even sound appealing.
Well, for me, I would put it in my shakes. And as opposed to putting other peanut butter, like the actual peanut butter. Yeah. So you'd have the peanut butter flavor, but you're getting less calories, Mm-hmm. But when you look at the good fats you're missing out on, it's almost worth it to have it in your shake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or you can make your own peanut butter. Hello. I know it takes a lot of time, to make these things from scratch.
And a mindset, though, because you just have to know exactly what you're doing. And there's always that fear of I'm going to go through all this work and it's going to taste awful, and then I've lost that in that moment. But I think if you do it, it's going to pay off for your health, and you're going to, trial and error, but you're going to find stuff that you really love to do.
Yeah, practice makes perfect, with anything. Yeah. Another top food that is known as healthy, supposedly that food specialists do not eat, is most commercial salad dressings. And that's because there's so many like hydrogenated oils in them. There's high fructose corn syrup. There's so many things in them. And that's why if you look at the ingredients, it will say like 1 teaspoon, 150 calories. You're like, 1 teaspoon? That doesn't make sense. I couldn't even cover a tomato or 1 kale leaf with that, So it's again, old school. Grab your olive oil, grab your vinegar.
I just do my balsamic vinegar. That's my
you like balsamic? Yeah,
so good. What's your go-to? Do you have a go-to?
I like balsamic, or I do regular vinegar. Either or. I'm good with both.
Yeah, I've never been a salad dressing fan, so fortunate in that sense.
I love salad dressing. I just started doing a lime vinaigrette.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's so good.
That you make?
Yeah. So what I've noticed is when I do lime vinaigrette, I don't need as much salt. I love salt. I grew up on salt. That's just my culture, my family. That's something that you do. You put adobo on everything. I personally, I didn't even know there was anything other than adobo to season your food with. And there's so much MSG, salt,
But it's good.
It's so good, but it's so bad for you. So what I've found is that actually limes, when you use them, it gives you that kind of like bitter, salty taste. Yeah. So you can replace salt with fresh lime. And my favorite snack, I don't know if you know about this. Yes. I just found this is pineapples, okay? Mm-hmm. You squeeze lime on it, and then you add like cayenne pepper. Boom!
Like with mango, and I love doing that with fruit.
Yes, like
but
mango.
I've never done it with pineapple. Okay.
Oh, it's so dang
That's my next
good.
one.
Yes.
Okay, got to give that a go.
We do. All right, and the last food, well, actually, it's not the last food. Yeah, we got 2 more. Another food on the list is whole wheat bread. And this is something that I tell everybody too. Everybody's like, well, I had a turkey sandwich on whole wheat bread for lunch. Homie, that whole wheat bread, on the glycemic index scale, that whole wheat bread is 69. I think it only goes, to 100?
Yeah, it's a high GI food, yeah.
So it's so high. It's going to spike your insulin levels, and then your body is just going to store it as fat.
Yeah.
So it's like really you're not eating white bread, but it's really not that
much better for you.
Yeah. So it's like, why even do it?
I virtually have cut bread out of my diet, and when I do have bread, I tend to go for a gluten-free bread. I found that I do better with gluten-free bread.
You digest it better. Yeah, probably.
And like less weight gain. Like I can cheat more with gluten-free foods than I can with non-gluten-free foods.
But not all gluten-free foods are good for you either.
Well, not that they're good for you, but I found that when, like, say I had a gluten-free cupcake, that cupcake had less of an effect on my weight than a regular cupcake.
Yeah.
So I did find it helped in that sense. But it's not necessarily healthy. But when I cheated, it wasn't cheating as bad.
Yeah. I just noticed. I don't know. I've been noticing there's been like gluten-free everything, and I'm like, wait, gluten-free Reese Pieces? What?
Well, I'm telling you, because there's a lot of things that were naturally gluten-free.
Still Reese Pieces.
But that's what I talk about that PR marketing deal, because there's a lot of stuff that was gluten-free to begin with, but now they're labeling it gluten-free, so people get the buzz term and they put it together and they buy it.
All right, another food that we can talk about, or should I say juice, is cold pressed juices. And I know Shaka, me and him were talking backstage about this, and he has his own reservations, so do I. So I guess, when you look at fruit, you think, oh, it's fruit, it's made from real fruits. But the problem with juice is that a lot of them contain a lot of sugar. And what happens is when you juice anything, you lose the fiber. So I guess, liver doesn't know how to break it down, and it spikes your insulin level. But at the same token, Shaka, take it away.
Well, for me, cold press, I don't think if the sugar's coming from natural sources, I find that sugar is fine for you. I personally have not had, and there was a time I was juicing, 24/7. And I did not have any trouble with my weight or even feeling lethargic, because all the sugar was coming from this natural source, and I was getting tons of vitamins. And of course, they say that your body can only absorb a certain amount, but if you continue to drink this throughout the day, you're continually fueling your body with clean carbohydrate energy and great vitamins and nutrients as well.
Yeah. So let me clarify. Shaka and I are talking about like juice that you juice yourself, or you go to a store cold pressed juicery, not naked juice that you buy at 7-Eleven. Not
that stuff is tons of sugar, added sugar.
Yeah, so it needs to be cold pressed. It needs to be made. Somebody made it, or you watch them make it, or you made it yourself. It's not
no added sugar.
Yeah, no tons of preservatives, none of that, because that's where you really get in trouble.
Yeah, so that one I didn't agree with, though I did understand, I guess, the logic. I mean, obviously it's not like drinking a cup of water.
Yeah.
But I think certainly not only do those cold pressed juices give you the vitamins and nutrients, I think they also help you stave off cravings of the stuff that is bad.
Yeah.
So you might not have that cupcake because you had that pineapple juice.
Exactly. So you got that sweet craving out of the way, and at least it was a natural sugar, sweet craving. I think when people suggest not eating a lot of fruit or not doing these cold pressed juices, I think what happens is that I feel like it's going to scare people off from eating everything. Well, I can't eat this. Well, forget it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you should have that instead of, a juice that was store-bought and not cold pressed. I would rather have you have fruit than eat that Reese's Pieces.
Exactly.
So I don't necessarily agree with not eating fruit and not doing the cold pressed juices. But like you said backstage, if you're getting ready for a competition, that's different. Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
you might want to eliminate all carbohydrates.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of your general diet, cold pressed juices are probably pretty good, actually. I mean, for me, they're definitely good. 100% good. So,
Is there a food out there that you guys will stay away from, that you will not eat, that we didn't mention here on the show? If you have a food and you have the backup to prove why you shouldn't eat it information, let us know on Instagram or Twitter or wherever you can find us online, or on YouTube. Just comment and let us know what that is. Is there a certain type of food that you won't eat?
A certain type of food that I won't eat.
That's labeled as healthy.
That's interesting. For me, I tend to avoid rice. Rice is pretty healthy, but personally, I bloat. I find myself bloated on rice a lot. And so I avoid that grain. Quinoa, not so much, so I try to stick to quinoa if I can.
I'm trying to think for me. think I agree with you. I avoid rice. I feel like just because there's so many people in my family who have diabetes, when I personally think of white rice, I think of diabetes. I just see it as like translating into diabetes in my body. So I feel like I grew up on it. I loved it, but I won't eat just plain white rice. I kind of just run from it.
Yeah, quinoa is a great substitute.
Yeah, quinoa. I might do brown rice once in a while. I'm starting to do the cauliflower rice.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's not as great as real quinoa or rice, but it kind of does the job. And I think visually sometimes we just need to see something that resembles.
Looks like what we know.
Exactly, that we're familiar with, that we're used to. And for me, that's what kind of cauliflower rice does for me. So.
Oh, well, I have to try it. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We do know when it comes to dieting, everyone wants to have more time to make the food and prepare the food. And if you're a small business owner, FreshBooks will give you that time. So small business owners, it's time to be honest about how you feel when dealing with your day-to-day admin work. Admit it, you can't stand it, it's a total grind. The truth is over 5 million small business owners felt exactly the same way until they discovered FreshBooks. For those of you who haven't heard about FreshBooks, listen up. These folks are on a serious mission to help small business owners save time and avoid a lot of the stress that comes with running their business. FreshBooks is a dead simple cloud accounting software that's transforming how small businesses owners handle their paperwork. Using FreshBooks to create and send an invoice literally takes about 30 seconds. There's no formulas or formatting, just perfectly crafted invoices every time. Your clients can pay you online, which often means you end up getting paid a lot faster. There's a super handy deposit feature, so you can invoice for a payment up front when you're kicking off a project. FreshBooks can even show you whether or not a client has looked at the invoice you've emailed. Very important. This is only a fraction of what FreshBooks can do for you. FreshBooks has created a super intuitive tool that makes creating and sending invoices extremely simple. It's fast, all online with instant notifications. Plus, send automatic late payment reminders. And you can create custom branding to reflect your business. You owe it to yourself to feel the full effect of FreshBooks on you and your small business. Plus, if you have any questions, their customer service is absolutely fantastic. No robots, real people. They care so much that if for some reason after 4 rings, someone from customer service can't pick up your call will be routed to all employees at FreshBooks, so you're guaranteed to get help. Huge.
I'm like on the phone right now trying to look at the app to see if there's a FreshBooks app, because that could save me a lot of time.
So much time. So for a 30-day free trial, just go to freshbooks.com/geek and enter Geek Nerd Tech in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Again, that's /geek and enter Geek Nerd Tech in the How Did You Hear About Us section.
Geek Nerd Tech. All right.
Thank you,
so
FreshBooks. Yeah.
You guys with small businesses, definitely download that so you can get in the kitchen and have time to cook in the gym.
Exactly.
You don't have to stress about your business.
Yep.
So shout out to QuickBooks.
FreshBooks.
FreshBooks.
It'll keep you quick. It'll keep you quick.
Okay. All right. Next topic. We have women and hypertrophy. There was an article where a woman says, if I lift weights, will I look like a man? And I'm sure, Shaka, you hear that a lot in the gym.
And we touched a little bit about it last week on the AJ Johnson story. But yeah, I think a lot of times we see these female bodybuilders, and immediately women think, if I lift a weight, that's what I'm going to look like. You know, unfortunately, we had the passing of China, and so we have a history of looking at these strong women and assuming that's what working out is. But you know, women don't really have testosterone, and that's really the driver of muscle building. And so for women, if they're working out really hard, they're looking at about a half a pound to 1 pound of muscle per month, and that's if they are just killing it in the gym. It's not going to be more than that. And so you're not going to get this sort of Hulk-like body. You're just going to end up kind of really reshaping your body, gaining a little bit more muscle, boosting your metabolism, and probably looking better in all the places you want to look better.
Yeah, I agree. I've tried to gain a lot of muscle, and for years these things won't grow much bigger. So, I mean, unfortunately, but fortunately, you know, if you are looking to add some muscle, more than just toning, I would suggest doing time under tension.
Oh, yeah.
It's, you know, it's slower, it engages engages your muscles more, and it allows you to have a little more growth than doing, your usual fast reps. That's kind of the only advice that I can give if you truly want to try to see some gains as a female. And again, diet, that's, if you want to see muscle, you got to get rid of that fat. So I feel like...
And make sure your protein and your carbohydrate intake is up if you're trying to gain muscle.
Yeah.
And important is to have a strong foundation of strength with large compound movements.
Yep.
So you might want to do squats or deadlifts. And for a female, you might want to go a little bit heavier and try like 1 to 5 reps. Of
Yeah, less reps.
Yeah, of that sort of base fitness. And then if you're trying to build muscle, when you go to your other type of workouts, 6 to 12 reps, maybe 3 to 4 sets.
Yeah. I always tell everybody when I see girls doing a bunch of like elastics and, at the cable machines and all that stuff is great. But if you're not deadlifting, if you're not, squatting, if you're not doing, I feel like those are the fundamentals.
That's your core strength.
Yes, like you have to do those. You cannot substitute those with kickbacks.
Yeah.
It's not going to give you the results that you want to see. If there's a girl in the gym who has amazing hamstrings, amazing glutes, amazing quads, most likely she is doing her squats, she is doing her deadlift, she's doing all those things.
It all ties together.
Yes, it really, really does. I think on your active days where you're not doing a big muscle group, I feel like it's okay to do those other things, but you have to be getting in. And what I find too, a lot of girls, they'll come to me, I want to grow my butt.
I want that Kardashian.
Yes, they want a big booty. And what I notice is they're so quad dominant.
Yeah.
I'll see them doing squats or deadlifts, and you can just see all the weight, and they don't really feel their butt. And that's one thing, I always ask my clients is, where are you sore? And they're like, oh, my legs. I'm like, what about your butt? They don't feel it in the butt. It's because when you're used to doing something a certain way for so long, that's your default. So you really have to, like I was saying, maybe do the time under tension where you're going slow so you can really activate those muscle fibers to really see growth in those areas. And the butt, that's like key. You have to activate. One move that I feel that really works the glutes to help you grow them if you really want to grow a muscle booty, not just any booty, is doing the one-legged deadlifts.
Oh, wow,
I feel like those really, really help. Or, the glute bridges, those are good.
Yeah, and I say just you have to focus on a holistic plan because people always, girls especially want that big butt. But to have a big butt, you have to have strong hamstrings. You have to have strong calves. You're going to have to actually have a strong core and a strong lower back. And so when you have those things, not only do those things help you get the bigger butt, it accentuates it because when your waist is smaller, then all of a sudden your butt looks a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
If you've gained a little bit more muscle in your upper arms somewhere, that muscle is burning the fat that might otherwise be hanging in not an attractive way. So it's a holistic plan you have to look at to your fitness.
How do you feel about girls when they're not like symmetric, when they're not balanced, when they have skinny little legs and a big butt?
I think it looks like you could be doing more, I guess. It's never as attractive as it could be if you were on a kind of holistic plan and bringing up everything. It's sort of guys with the big upper body and the small legs.
Yes, it drives me crazy. And I know genetically, like, I have big calves, and I know there's really nothing that I could do about it. Trust me. I've tried to lose weight down there, and they won't go away. But at least they match me.
Yeah, and I think,
you know what I mean?
And I feel bad because a lot of my friends, I didn't really start lifting weights until a lot later in life, but a lot of my friends were lifting weights at 14 and 15. And at that age, everyone just wanted to be big, big. So they didn't even know that they were doing themselves a disservice at the time. They were just, benching. And it wasn't until they got a little bit older, they're like, wait a minute, my legs.
Hold on, let me see your calf, Shaka.
Oh, these guys? Oh, no, I've been working for a while.
Oh, look at those. Here, he got some. Okay. I see you over there.
Yeah, we
some sexy calves.
We're a full body type of.
If you guys want to see Shaka's calves, head over to his Instagram at Shaka Strong.
We're a full body type of crew here.
I think it was GQ magazine. They put out a survey of what's the top sexiest body parts on a man. They asked a bunch of women, and it's so funny to see what was the top 5. And I think it was core, butt came in number 2, which I do like a nice strong strong
it's
booty
like
on a
people
guy.
don't like to admit, but girls love
Yes.
that. Yeah.
I think it was, what else? Biceps. But calves were on there. But what was funny that was not on there was chest.
Really?
And I feel like guys work so hard to get a chest, and I don't think we really care about the chest.
I don't know. I think girls like the chest. I think the chest is actually one of the harder areas to make look good.
Yeah.
It really is, and then want to show it off in a tank top. The arms are kind of easy to make look good. If you lose some weight in the core, that's all right. But the chest is hard to accentuate for a guy. So
to this day, my brother, my younger brother, he still will text me when he's going hard in the gym, and he will say, "It is because of you. You told me I had no chest that I go hard benching."
No. Well, that's a good thing. Some positive, some negative reinforcement.
Oh, I'm sorry. I corrupted him. To this day, he's still trying to get his chest built up.
Well, it sounds like he's on the right track.
Yeah, he is. He's working hard. His chest is fine. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Why you should drink coffee before a workout. And I know on was it our last show or the show before Shaka?
I think it was our last show. I told you my
were,
little
yes, and
concoction.
I haven't made the concoction yet, but
it's
I'm
tough.
definitely gonna. What's in it again? Coffee.
So with 2 shots of
green tea.
espresso, a shot of green tea, I would do lemon juice, turmeric, black pepper.
Why turmeric?
So turmeric, it's anti-inflammatory. So I figured if I was having that every day, it would help me reduce inflammation when I was lifting. And I had the black pepper because the black pepper increases the absorption of the turmeric. Lime citrus helps with the absorption of the green tea.
Okay.
And so I had that in there, and I had hot sauce in there too.
Hot sauce, yeah.
Also anti-inflammatory, but also just gives you a little, a little jolt, So with the 2 shots of espresso, I was pretty good to go.
You gotta bottle that up and sell it.
Yeah, I know.
right?
I should, right? Patent that formula.
Shaka pre-strong.
Yeah, right?
Your pre-workout.
I gotta have you as a marketing. Yeah, that's great.
All right, we'll have you talk about this coffee at the gym stimulant.
Oh yeah, so it's great because they found that coffee gives you energy, obviously from the caffeine, but it helps boost your dopamine levels, and dopamine has been effective in pain reduction and a lot of that feel-good mental stuff that we have. It's the dopamine that's activated in our brains, and so coffee now will take about 15 to 45 minutes to get processed, and you'll get the results within 30 minutes to 75 minutes. So you want to have it about an hour before your workout. And it's a clean, natural stimulant. And you just want to make sure you're not having it too close to bed if you're having an evening workout. They say it takes about 4 to 6 hours to get out of the system. And that will just have to be a person-by-person tolerance. For me, if I drink coffee, it hits me within like 10 minutes. Like I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And now, are you talking about like a whole cup of coffee?
Yeah, a whole cup of coffee. It's going to have about 200 milligrams of caffeine. If you are really caffeine sensitive, you can go with tea, which will have like 40 to 80 milligrams of caffeine. And of course, you don't want to overshoot because it can have a laxative effect. If you're a coffee drinker, you've probably experienced it at some point in time. And you want to make sure you're hydrated, which is also a big thing because coffee is also a natural diuretic as well. And so I always have to have some water with my coffee, either right before or right afterwards.
Yeah. And when we're speaking of coffee, we're not talking about lattes. We're talking
like black coffee.
Black coffee. No, none of that. Milk and.
And no, milk isn't the worst. So if you do add a little, especially if you're having your coffee in the morning, in particular, you could add a little milk. I'm vegan, so I'll go with like a coconut milk or something, or an almond milk. But that little boost of protein and carbs in the morning when you come off of a night of not having anything can also help with your workout because it gets you mentally sharp and your brain needs carbohydrates to function. You haven't had any, presumably for 8 hours while you were asleep. So, and a little bit of protein can kind of help with your workout. So having a little bit of milk in
We're
that
talking
coffee,
about a little, not like a whole cup of milk in a coffee.
Yeah, we're not talking about sugar. We're not talking about other
lattes
things.
and frappuccinos and all that yummy stuff that
you'd like to go to Starbucks and grab. But yeah, so you could certainly, but a little bit of milk, vegan or non-vegan, is fine as well.
I am a workout AM person, not a PM workout person. And if I drink pre-workout or coffee 7 o'clock at night, I will be up literally till 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't give me that much energy, but it really shows me how much of a stimulant it really is where I'm in bed,
Just
counting
awake.
sheep and can't fall asleep. So for me, I cannot have coffee past 7 o'clock.
I'm caffeine sensitive, but I love it. And I think I probably naturally don't operate I operate well with not enough sleep. And so it's okay to grab 5 hours, or 4 hours. And so I almost don't mind it sometimes. I'll have in the evening. I'm just up till 4. It's all right. After 3, it's okay.
All right, so last topic, how to stop cravings. And this is something that I struggle with, so I have some good tips to help you, but also me at the same time. It may be not lack of self-control, which studies have shown, and I always kind of would be hard on myself and be like, well, you don't have self-control. You know, you can't stop yourself from eating. Like, if I see food, I eat it. Like, you have to put it on the highest cabinet shelf. You have to.
You're on the seafood diet.
Yes, I am on the seafood diet. If I see food, I will eat it. So I have to put it on a high shelf, hide it. Actually, I even just throw it away half the time. You know, if I know this is going to derail me, I will just throw it away. And I feel bad, but it's like, if somebody else doesn't eat it, I'm going to eat it. So it needs to go.
My rule is I don't buy any food that is not approved, you know, healthy for me. And have it in the home. I won't buy it whatsoever. Now I'll go out and buy it somewhere else, but I'm not going to buy it and bring it home.
Good
now,
for you.
I might order something and that'll be the one time, you know.
Yeah.
But for the food for the home, I'm not going to have anything that's not healthy in that home.
Yeah. So when you eat these comfort foods, it releases a lot of the stress hormones because you get stressed when you're eating. And that's what a lot of these cravings really have to do with. It's emotional, it's stress, it's all those things. So we have some tips for you that you can do to stop those cravings. The first rule of thumb, I should do this. First rule of thumb, not pointer finger, thumb, is grab some protein. A lot of the times when you're hungry, it's because you're not getting enough protein. And I know I asked you, Shaka, well, what do you eat for protein? Because you're vegan, but you actually do get a lot of protein in.
Between beans and nuts, like there's tons of protein and ways to stay full.
Yeah. Another thing this article kind of talked about was start some breathing exercises.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
Well, I've never been like, let me get this pizza. You know what? Let me just
breathe.
I don't want it anymore. I'm fine. No.
I think maybe what they were trying to say is that the breathing lowered the stress levels, which lowered the cortisol being, you know,
it might actually make me want to eat that food even more. Now I'm ready to have the pizza. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to throw that tip out the window.
I don't know about breathing.
Another tip is tell yourself that you can have it later. And this I do. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, see, that would not work for me. If I'm going to have it some other time, why not now?
See, I tell myself, listen, you are not at your goals yet. You can have that after you lose the 10 pounds.
Oh, you mean some other time, like in the future? Like way off?
No.
Like later on that day?
No, not later, but later on in the future. Like, I think sometimes we see food and, you know, our eyes are bigger than our stomach and we're like, we have to have this now. But really, you can go to any store in the future and have your Snickers bar. You can go to any barbecue, you know, later on in the future, and there's going to be, you know, that hot dog and bun and whatever. I feel like sometimes we just get overwhelmed and let me just eat it now and I'll burn it off later, when it should be that food. This country alone, we have excessive access to anything. So I feel like,
you know, for me,
it's always going to be there.
I you know, to some extent, I guess I would do that in the past, but I started to get into trouble when I would go to these like catered events. And that's the thing. You go to these events sometimes, or especially out here in Los Angeles, it's like an event every day. And I was like, I'm never going to have that food again. Like, this amazing chef in the back has just made something I can't pronounce and looks delicious.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're like, I got to eat it now.
I'm never going to have that. I don't know what that is.
That's
so funny. That was always been my struggle.
So that wouldn't work for you. Speaking of events, Shaka and I went to the OK Magazine
Body and Soul
event this really weekend. And there was some food there, and Shaka said no, and he actually helped me say no, because I didn't eat it either. And typically, I probably would have ate it. But we got to witness, you know, a ton of cool workouts that celebrities were performing and doing with, you know, party goers. There was Autumn Calabrese. Calabrese.
Yeah.
She was there. She's, you know, known for the 21 Day Fix. Paige Hathaway, which we met, which was cool. I'm like, that's my woman crush
She's
Wednesday.
Like Instagram fitspiration.
Yeah. And you know, I'll tell you this. I know she's just a fitness model on Instagram, but what inspires me about her is that you like, if you know her story, she has this incredible background, you know, where she was doing all these fitness shows. She could never catch a break. And she's like, you know what? I don't need a fitness show to get on. I'm going to just do what I love. I'm going to work out hard. And she got on social media and people started to love her. And now she's on covers. She was on Oxygen magazine, which I picked up. And I'm like, you can go from Instagram to Oxygen magazine. She's on another cover this month. I don't know if it's health and fitness, I don't know, one of the magazines, and I'm just like, this is inspiring. You know, you don't need...
She decided to be her own inspiration. And
exactly.
So and I think that genuine motivation for yourself translates to motivation for others.
And what I loved even more about her is I'm looking at her like, this girl has it like on point. And she's like, oh my God, I love your pants. I love your shirt. Where'd you get it? I'm like, you were so sweet. Like, who thought you were going to be such
like
a
genuine
sweet?
and nice.
Yeah, she was awesome.
They do exist. People like that exist.
Yeah, we were telling her about our Fit Club show, and she was like, yeah, I want to come on. So I talked to our manager, so hopefully we will have her on very soon. So that would be cool, just to see from, you know, coming from doing shows, not placing very high, and it's
sort of that journey, like while her journey wasn't necessarily the I'm obese to losing weight journey, it was sort of this journey of loss, of like, I'm not where I want to be, how do I get there?
Yeah.
And having to figure out, just kind of overcoming those little obstacles, whether it was in the competition world or otherwise.
Yeah, very inspiring.
Yeah.
And back to our last tip, because we have just a few minutes left on the show, write it down. And when you're writing down your response when you're having a craving, you want to write down kind of like you're talking to yourself. Okay, if I ate this, how would I feel? What would I be thinking? And this is something that I'm actually going to try to do. I know it sounds cheesy.
Yeah, well, it was one that just didn't resonate with me. I'm going to write down my ideal response.
Well, I think what I forget, and I think most people forget, is you look at the food and you're like, I want it, I want it, I want it. But what you forget is the guilt that you feel afterwards.
Yeah.
Every time I eat something, I'm like, dang it, I just lost 2 pounds. And now, you know, that one Snicker, I'm going to have to run on that treadmill for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
So I think maybe reminding myself, writing it down, and seeing the patterns.
You know, I think for me, I got very comfortable with accepting those facts and having that calculus already in my head. And so I would go see that Snickers bar and I'd be like, yep, that's 45 minutes, and I eat it. And I know it's going to be the 45 minutes. And so I'm going to go to the gym right afterwards and get on that treadmill. So I think I'm fortunate in that way, is that I was having that food, but I already knew what I needed to do, and I was going to go do it.
Yeah.
So a day after I have a big cheat meal, I'm going to go run 4 or 5 miles.
Yeah.
That's just going to happen. And so if you have that kind of discipline, I think, then you can do it.
See, I would eat too much, and then just it would be just like a whole, I'm just burning off food that I'm eating all the time.
Well, and that's what I was doing.
See, but you're at your ideal.
I was at my ideal place, so I was happy where I was.
So I feel like for those of us, even us trainers who are not yet
if you're
at
not
our
where you want to
ideal
be,
price,
you're gonna have to pay the price.
Sacrifice. You know that Muhammad Ali saying, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion.
Yeah, exactly. Suffer now.
Yeah, so I will suffer now and drink this water and do my workouts and skip on that Snickers.
But one thing I didn't see that they had was, I like to go, like I said, have that piece of fruit that's there before you have the bad stuff. So tell yourself, I'm going to eat something prior to, and if I'm still hungry, I'll still have that thing I crave.
Yeah.
And I think that can be a good tool, because that stopped me from sometimes having it.
Yeah, sometimes I do that too. Or sometimes I'll have a piece of it, and then I'll have like a fruit. So
and
then
that's
it's
also
not
good.
as bad. You know, you eat half of it, not the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think they said make sure you're just prepared, just ration out. So if you absolutely know you're craving chocolate-covered almonds, just ration out 5 and have 5 ready in different packets. So that day you just pick the 5 rather than going to the tin and going through all of them.
Thinking of all this food is actually making me have flashbacks to my Fit to Fat to Fit days on the TV show, where I had to gain all the weight, and it's just crazy thinking about it. And it also reminds me, you guys, Adonis on Fit to Fat, he's actually walking across America right now. So shout out to him. Make sure you guys cheer him on. We're so proud of him. him. He wants to motivate people to walk and lose weight because many, many years ago he was over 300 pounds, and that's how he got into this fitness journey. He started walking.
So he was over 300 pounds, and then he lost the weight, and then he did Fit to Fat to Fit.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So he really wants to motivate everybody, and he will be here in California in January. That's how long it's going to take him to walk across America.
Hopefully we can get him on.
We will definitely get him on, and we will feed him because he's probably going to be very, very skinny. Also, from Fit to Fat to Fit, Corey from Atlanta will be on our show next week. So you guys have to tune in, especially you ladies. I remember hearing so many girls like, "Oh my God, Corey's so handsome." Well, he will be on the show next week. So if you have any questions of how he's staying fit, how he's motivating people, how his client is doing, and what's next for him, make sure to tweet at us, message us, or if you're on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to comment below and let us know your questions.
Where can they watch an episode of this?
Oh, so if you want to watch Fit to Fat to Fit, you want to go onto iTunes. We have all the episodes there, and they're always doing repeats on A&E, so you can DVR it and you'll see it there. But I'm super excited to see Corey on the show next week. I personally have never met him. I've talked to the whole cast, but it will be nice to kind of chat with him and hear how his experience was, after the show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I had a good show. This is nice. You guys, thank you so much for joining Fit Club. Make sure to join the club every week, Wednesday nights, same place, same time. And if there's a certain topic you guys want us to chat about, let us know. We'll do the research and we'll talk about it here. And if there's a specific guest that you want us to get on, let us know. We'll make some phone calls and we'll get them on the show. Thank you so much, Shaka.
Yeah,
you inspire me. Every time I see his guns on this show, I'm like, I need to go home and do some bicep curls.
Stop. You're funny fit.
Where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaka Strong.
And you guys can find me online at FitWithFallon or fitwithfallon.com, and we will see you next time.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.